What's up, everybody? It's Too Generic back at it again with your host, Cam,
Rich.
and this week we're talking UFC 317. We're talking, NBA general stuff. There's been trades, free agency signings, obviously the draft. I do a mock draft, so I want to get into that a little bit. And then we could talk a little WNBA as well. I'm even thinking about going to a WNBA game today. Candace Parker's jersey is getting retired, the number 3. So CP3 will live forever in LA.
Right.
Not no Clippers CP3.
Nope.
The CP3 that brought rings, MVPs, and a unique skill set to this day that can't be replicated. A 6'5" point guard that could play the 5, play the 1. Name me a player, even in the NBA history, that could really do that, other than maybe Magic Johnson, who shared the court in the same arena.
And she won Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season.
She really set the bar for what it takes to be a WNBA player. As soon as she came in, everybody had to step their game up.
Yeah.
So, or maybe we'll go and pay some respects to CP3. But let's get going on UFC 317. So, where do you want to start? How early are we going? Are we going first fight? Because the first fight was fucking incredible.
Yeah, that was a good fight. He beat the hell out of Alvin Hines.
But then Hines was coming back in the third.
Did.
He beat the hell out of him in the first round. He looked like hamburger meat after 5 minutes. But then the second round came, and he still was getting beat up. But then you're seeing Denise, really start to slow down and look sloppy at times. And then his defense was off. I don't think he was, probably he might have checked out because he thought he won the first round so hard. He probably thought the guy was going to give up.
And also, it's heavyweights. They probably get tired quicker. In heavyweight fights, we don't always see, 3 rounds. It's not a surprise if the fight is ended in the first round.
Right. And yeah, this guy came in and really brawled with him. Denise, I think they brought Hines. That was Hines' debut, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got this, bringing this guy in. You're trying to build Denise. We've seen him have a tough loss his last fight, but at the same time, he fought well. He lost. No, every loss, I guess, is kind of the same, but I think he could have got better from it. It's not like he went out there, got pummeled, got slept, got tapped out, and something broke. He was fine after. He just had to learn and heal from his scratches. But yeah, Denise came out, did his thing. But in the third round, it was all Hines, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The takedown attempts, he had 10 takedown attempts. 1 was successful. He threw way more volume. It was impressive. After getting your ass beat in the first round like that from a guy who, like I said, everyone's expecting him to be a hammer in the heavyweight division. And yeah, some guy who looks like a teacher, and he looks like a family dad. It looks like a movie.
Yeah, he just pulled.
What was it? The Paul Blart fighting movie. They're trying to make some comparisons. He just looks like a common guy, happy, nice little family man. And then he takes his shirt off, the UFC fighter in the cage. And yeah, he really fought with a lot of heart. So much respect to the dude making his UFC debut, and for people to notice, because I felt like everybody was tuned in. I don't know why, but some UFC prelims don't seem to be hyped or anything else. But it seemed my timeline, everyone was checked into the first fight of the night for some reason.
But they were really good prelims too. Even the early prelims were good. So
the Jacoby Smith, Nico Price, there were a couple. Oh my God, he caught him right there, in the last 10 seconds. But at the same time, Nico Price, he didn't look too good against him, but he caught Jacoby Smith a few times as well.
Yeah. This was expected from Nico Price.
Definitely. So we were expecting McKinney knockout. I don't know if we were expecting a submission in the first minute.
I knew there was going to be a finish either way. It was either McKinney was getting the finish or he was getting. He goes for it all the time, so I wasn't really surprised with it. I mean, he went. I mean, I guess I'm a little surprised that he went for the takedown right away. I thought he'd maybe try to strike with him a little bit more.
Went to the ground immediately. I
Yeah,
was surprised. I think even Borschev was surprised.
right.
Kind of just fell back and was like, "What just happened?"
And then Borishev was on his back, and then he was kicking his legs up. He was doing everything he could to get out of that submission. He had no.
He was, and eventually he tapped.
Yeah.
The leg kicks. I knew he was in deep at that point. You never see dudes really like leg kick like that and panic.
Yeah.
And he was doing everything in that last second.
Impressive.
Tracy Cortez, we already know it's going to decision.
Yeah. That was
every time.
We could just skip through that one.
Right? We could just skip through that one.
She got the win. She gets a lot of wins. She doesn't.
What a knee by Jose Delgado up the middle.
Didn't even need the follow-up punches.
I guess so, but it was a little bit more in the heat of the battle.
Yeah, it wasn't like the Gregory Rodriguez.
It wasn't like the next fight, and yeah, that'll. You want to talk about it?
Man, I think did we take Hermanson?
We actually both took Hermanson.
Yeah.
Because I actually don't know why.
I don't know.
Looking back at it, I don't know why. I really don't. But Hermanson has had these like weird fights where he could pick you apart. And the thing is Rodriguez, RoboCop, sometimes has had boring fights.
Mm-hmm.
Really boring fights. And where he just stands there and lollygags. And sometimes, and I'd say most of the time, when someone does that and they're just eating clock and sparring, Hermanson wins. He's great at sparring and these point fights and 1-2, blah, 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 and back out. 1-2, 1, back out. He'll just win. Jab, back up, do his little bullshit where he kind of just circles you, but from the cage side. And that's a weird way that Hermanson fights.
Yeah.
But when push comes to shove, I think Rodriguez realized it, and he's like, I'm just going to bring the fight directly to him.
That was a good idea.
And that's what he did, and Hermanson doesn't know how to fight like that.
Yeah.
Just stand and bang. And Hermanson does not stand and bang. So
I remember in the Chris Curtis fight, Chris Curtis was losing his mind fighting Hermanson because Hermanson was just jabbing him, point fighting him, circling the octagon, and he beat him like that. And Chris Curtis was going nuts during the fight, after the fight.
RoboCop's too big for that, though. That's the thing. Yeah. Curtis is shorter wingspan and everything. And I don't think he has the detonated power. You know what I'm saying? We've seen RoboCop put some people's lights out. That's the reason why they call him a RoboCop. You know? Like, he just got some mechanical strength.
And he had that little short left hook. Put him to sleep like that.
Yeah.
And it didn't even seem like he put that much power into it. I mean, it was like a short little left hook, and he slept him. But obviously,
I don't think he's seen the punch coming, so it was probably Hermanson might have been taking a breath, opened his mouth, and like the way his jaw probably just, clicked or whatever. Boom.
But obviously, he hit it clean.
He hit it clean, and then this is what we were saying. The previous fight, the dude hit a flying knee, like they were, fighting in close. Boom, knee comes up, and then he goes down, and then he starts punching him. And we see from the replay in slow-mo that Emil was kind of, I don't want to say sleep, but definitely dazed,
right,
to a certain degree, and he was out of it. That's a TKO if you're dazed the way he was.
Right.
So I get it, but with RoboCop, oh my God, he slept him. The dude fell back, and he was like literally like this. Yeah. He wasn't even looking at him. His head was turned, his arms were like this, and then he stood over for a second. He seen the ref, and in the last second, he made a decision to drop one more hit, and that's dirty.
And the way the back of his head hit the canvas too.
Yeah, everything about it, the dude was just laid out, and there's no reason you had to do the follow-up shots. We're not in that gladiator stage of the UFC anymore. This is like the martial arts stage, And that's also why it's kind of funny seeing Borislav kick his legs like that violently, is that these guys, most of them are martial artists, and they know if they're in a position, they just accept it, and then they just tap because they know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was beat. I was out of position, and I lost it. Like, I couldn't get out of it, and you tap. You're not going to go to sleep. Dudes in the UFC 10, 15 years ago, there was more people that went to sleep through submissions. Nowadays, a lot of people tap, but yeah.
And I will say Herb Dean tried to get over there pretty quick.
Yeah, he did.
I will say he tried to not kill Hermanson. He tried to help him out. Like, he does try to kill fighters a lot, but he did save this fight.
He did try to get it. Okay, I think that's even a better point. If Herb Dean knew the fight was over and he was asleep, how the hell didn't this guy?
Right.
Because Herb Dean never knows when the fight's over. He has no clue when a fight's over. He has to hear 3 snores before he's like, all right, that guy's asleep.
Like, he'll be on top of the fighter almost, and then he'll back off because he doesn't know whether or not to stop the fight. It's crazy.
Oh, we got breaking news from Shams.
I saw that LeBron opted into his deal.
No.
He's not taking the pay cut.
Well, he's not taking the pay cut, and he also is staying with Luka. Because he could have opted out and then just went into free agency and did whatever the hell he wanted. He could have signed for the minimum on the Cavs.
But who are they going to sign now?
Imagine that. I don't know. I just came up with
that kind of sucks for the Lakers.
I know. He opted into $52 million?
Yeah.
$52.6 million. Luka's got a fat ass deal. Yeah, that's like, you got to make something happen. And you have to find big men that are on cheaper deals. We'll get to the NBA in a little bit. But yeah, they got to find big men, 20 million and below. That's what I would say. Mm-hmm. And there's a few of them out there. You know, you could probably find Brook Lopez, Nick Claxton, Capella. Just 3 as an example. But back to the UFC. I don't want to dive too deep because I'm going on a tangent. Talbot and Lima.
That was a really good fight.
It was. Lima, in the first round, you know, he had him in the first round.
Yeah, he had him hurt, I thought. Mm-hmm. At some point. But he kind of ate the shots, to be honest. Talbot ate the shots pretty well, but Lima's striking was clean in the first round. Mm-hmm. But then on the ground, Talbot out wrestled him in the final 2 rounds. And outstruck him too in the final 2 rounds. So that was a nice bounce back win for him.
That was a great one for Talbot. Beneil Dariush beats Moicano.
Another rough loss for us.
I know.
Money
Moicano, we lost.
Hey, man.
We need stakes. We need money. And losses don't make money and don't make stakes.
No, not last night.
Not last night. So I hope Moicano can maybe have a bounce back fight next time. But
I thought
he's an older guy too.
In the first round, Moicano, that was clean.
Oh my God, he dropped him straight back to the fence.
Yeah, I thought that was.
I think if he could replay what he did after that, he would. And then I think he really had him hurt for that second.
And then Moicano seemed really tentative for the second and third round. I mean, he got, Dariush got the takedowns in the second.
Leg kicks.
In the second and the leg kicks, the body.
He dropped him with one.
He did. Yeah, he had the calf kicks, the body kicks. He was really
changes your boxing when you don't have your legs.
Because he didn't want to throw.
I don't want to admit it.
He didn't want to throw anything. Moicano. He was really tentative those final 2 rounds.
He had no stability, no foundation to throw punches from.
Right.
And that was Dariush's secret, for a while. That and his left hand.
Right.
People just didn't expect the left. I don't know why, but they never expected the left to be that strong. And then the leg kicks were there. And his anti-wrestling is always incredible.
And that was his first.
He's a wide dude. He's good against the fence and stuff.
That was his first win since October of 2022. And he hadn't fought since December of 2023.
It was a long layoff.
Yeah.
His hair got a little grayer.
Yeah, it can't get much grayer. It's going to be white soon.
Yeah, he's going to be in there with white hair.
It's like he's dyeing his hair gray.
It does, kind of. I feel like he's leaning into it a little more than what it is.
I mean, he's 36.
I think it's a sleeper. It's a sleeper dye.
Mm.
I think he thinks he looks older and more distinguished with gray hair, I think.
Like, he could pass for mid to late 40s.
Right. And you'd be like, he looks good for 40.
For 40.
Right. But you're like, you're 36. Why are you jet gray? Like, makes no sense. But let's go.
Roy.
Man, I can't talk about Moicano Lupton anymore.
I know.
Royval and Josh Van. Josh Van coming through.
Probably fight of the year.
That was incredible.
That was probably fight of the year. That was nuts.
He busted Royval up in the end. I loved it.
And Royval outstruck him, but Van definitely had the more damaging strikes.
Right.
And Royval I feel like he was just keeping his chin up the whole time. Every time he tried to enter and punch him or throw an elbow or something, Van was just teeing off. His what am I calling it? His defense was great last night.
Yeah.
Van's defense. I mean, he was anytime Royval threw, Van connected.
I do think he's losing to Pantoja.
Oh, he's got no chance against Pantoja.
No chance. Pantoja's like, come in the ring. Come on, let's do it face off. Let's do it. I'll give this guy a chance. He deserves it. I'm like, yeah.
He had no chance. Like Kai Kara had no chance last night. I don't know why they made that fight.
I couldn't believe they made that fight, but that was for the sharps.
Him being minus 280 is bonkers.
Yeah.
He should have been a bigger favorite than Jacoby Smith was. Jacoby Smith was minus 3,000.
They said it was the biggest betting favorite ever.
Jacoby Smith?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they said it to him after Joe Rogan said it to him after the fight, and I would have took that as disrespect, because like, what are you trying to say? I'm not fighting nobody special. Like I ain't just do some work out there.
But Bo Nickel was a big favorite too once.
Like it was saying, like you fought a bum. Like
he did.
You just fought a bum. How does it feel? You were the biggest betting favorite ever. How does it feel? And it's like that's basically what he said when he goes, "You're the biggest betting favorite ever." No one put money on Nico Price. Not anybody thought he would beat you. How do you feel? How do you feel? The odds were never against you. How do you feel?
He was like, "You did what you were supposed to do."
Right. The biggest betting favorite ever. Like, think about that. We've seen some crazy matchups, and it wasn't the biggest betting favorite ever.
Man.
We've seen Chimaev Holland at 185.
That was a great fight while it lasted. That was really entertaining.
It was. And then it ended.
Quickly.
Yeah. But yeah, we knew KKR shouldn't have been in there.
Oh.
I don't even. When I heard about that fight, I didn't blink. I knew immediately.
Oh, no.
Bars.
There's a bar.
And then the championship fight. Well, I guess the next championship fight, because KKR could have won the championship.
What did they do to our...
Ilya beats Charlie Olives.
What did they do to our boy? Oh my God.
Fucked up.
He didn't need he knocked him out with the right hand and he was asleep and then he still punched him while he was on his feet. And then he had the 2 follow-up punches while he was dead. Oh my God, that was awful. And so, but the thing is like,
but he got wrestled before that too. It's not like he got caught.
Yeah,
and I think that's what needs to be said.
And Oliveira was pressuring forward, moving forward the whole for however long it lasted.
But he got busted. He was bleeding before he got knocked out.
Yep. But I will say, looking back at it, Topuria seems so calm relaxed. I mean, when he was walking out to the octagon, when he got into the octagon, he was laughing and smiling when they were touching. I mean, he was. And then right before Herb Dean started, or who was the Mark Goddard started the fight in the first round, he was smiling.
Mhm.
He's a sicko.
Yeah,
He knew he was gonna. It's just I don't know. He's starting, and he said he was gonna knock him out in the first round. He knocked him out in the first. He's starting.
What's he gonna do to Islam? I think Islam's running from Ilya. If anything, now after I seen that, I'm thinking Islam's scared shitless, and he's like, "I'll go to 170 and fight Jack."
That's what everybody's saying. Yeah, everybody's saying Islam.
I didn't realize the magnitude of what we were dealing with of Ilya at 155.
I didn't think it'd be so easy.
Yeah, kind of nuts.
Been surprised if he won, but I didn't think it would be that easy to beat Oliveira like that.
Me neither.
And now
I thought there was some size problems too.
Yep.
But
not at all.
My God.
And now if he doesn't fight Makhachev and Topuria just stays at lightweight, I don't see who his real competition is. Like, I don't know.
I think you got to just start training to take out Ilya.
Yeah, that's not happening.
I think you can make 145.
I'm all set.
How much you weigh right now?
Don't worry about it.
If you're like 155 or below, I think you can make it.
Nah, I'm all set.
Come on, some kicks. I've seen your kicks.
You've seen the kicks, yeah? Shut down the perennial nerve.
Yeah, there you go. Shut him down. You shut down his leg. You shut down his boxing.
Yeah.
Then he's hopeless.
Not a chance.
Yeah, I don't know who at 145 is really going to mess with Ilya Topuria right now.
And then you see they brought Pimblett in the cage, which was the dumbest thing ever. Why would Paddy Pimblett fight Topuria? He's number 8. He's number 8.
Yeah.
I would think he has to fight somebody inside the top 5 before he gets the title shot. But I guess, you kind of have the story of them fighting, years ago, outside of the cage. Then, you bring them inside the octagon. They shove each other. You put it on the promo video. And you make a story out of it. But I don't think Pimblett has a chance. I don't know why they're trying to push that now. Should be Sarukian. Should be Sarukian or Gaethje, probably.
Sarukian.
Yeah.
I think Sarukian's going to fight next.
Yeah, Sarukian's going to get slept.
By Islam? Or by Ilya?
By Topuria, yeah.
Topuria, yeah. It's going to be rough. But you never know. You never bet against the Armenians.
I am. I'm definitely going to.
You're going to bet against the Armenians?
Bet against Sarukian.
I'm telling you, this is a holy war.
All right. We'll see.
Georgia, I'm telling you, Georgia, I've learned some things from the Armenians. The Battle of Avayar.
Oh, God.
They saved Christianity.
Okay. All right. Let's get on to something.
They did. They defeated the Zoroastrians.
All right. Good for them.
You have no clue about the Zoroastrian Empire.
You're right.
And they were taking over Rome, which does directly impact you.
How so?
Because where is Rome? How so? Are you not an Italian?
Am I in Italy?
Were people not from Italy a few generations ago?
Yeah.
Were they not there like damn near 2 weeks ago compared to history?
I guess.
That's what I'm saying. It was the year 400. Let me take you back. The year 400. Think about this. But let me not. All right. So what are we on to next? Because Ilya, I just feel like he's gonna beat everybody.
I agree. And the 3-fight stretch he's been on to beat probably two of the top 3 featherweights of all time, knock them both out, and then beat Oliveira, who was a former champion. That's a crazy 3-fight stretch for him.
Yeah, it is. So, I mean, you think he could go up to 185?
Or 170?
Nah, he's going to skip.
He's going to skip.
Because he could beat Jack.
Oh, you think?
I already think that.
Yeah,
I think he beats Jack. So I'm already past 170. He maybe beats Islam. What are we thinking? I think DDP stops him.
I agree.
I think that's the only person in the UFC that might be able to shut down Ilya. Because what do we think at 205?
205. And we got it. Who's at 205? Oh, we got Ankalaev. I think Ankalaev might be a tough fight for Tim.
Ankalaev might be a tough fight for him.
I think it might
but
be.
I low-key think Ilya could have some shit.
hit him with some body shots.
And then obviously Aspinall or John Jones would decimate this dude.
Mm-hmm.
Even though John Jones retired. But yeah, like I think 185 is probably where he runs out of gas. So yeah, 170, let's say that. That's actually something that could happen. If he moves up to 155 and gets the belt, and he says he tried to change his name to Legend. What if he tries to do a triple champ? Is he that crazy?
But he is a legend killer already.
Exactly.
Being Volkanovski, Holloway, and Oliveira. So I would like to see him defend the belt once or twice, though, at least.
That'd be interesting.
I think it's just crazy, guys. I mean, no one wants to stay in their division. Everyone wants double champ status. But
if he stays at 155, then I don't know if he could necessarily keep the 145 to be triple champ. That's what I'm saying. Like, if he could make some jump. Like, if Islam tries to run the 170, could he be like, nah, I'll see you at 170 then?
Yeah, I hope Topuria doesn't go back down to featherweight. Leave Volkanovski alone. He didn't do anything to you.
Right. He was having fun down there. We were having fun.
Right. Just had to ruin everything.
That ass.
Just so uncalled for.
Maybe Sugar Sean will move up. I think that's what he should do. I think he should be a grown-ass man and put some weight on.
I think 145 would be a good division for O'Malley.
Yeah. Like, I think it would be so good. If he didn't take this last fight and try to do this rematch, I think he should have put weight on, went up to 145, whooped some ass, and then told Marab to come see him. You know? Come see me at 145. 130, I was too small. You're small. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy to pick a fight that way. I don't know. I watch Chael too much.
I wouldn't mind.
The promotion. He talks about the promotion business, and these guys ain't thinking right.
I think 145 makes a lot of sense for him.
He's huge. He's 6 feet tall. He should not be fighting at 135 pounds.
Right.
What 6 foot tall man is 130 pounds? Like, seriously. There's probably not many.
Yeah, think of one.
It just doesn't make sense. Like, stop being a weight bully, basically. Right. Just because, I don't know, whatever his body type is, however he could drop down to 135 pounds, it is what it is. But he needs to go to 145, get his weight up a little bit, fight some bigger dudes. You're fighting midgets at 125. Like,
and losing to him.
Right, now you're losing to him. So just go back to people that are like your size, and I think it'll translate. And I also think he's just too skinny. He had this power when he was young and everything. Now he's getting older and maturing, but he's had to cut weight and stay skinny for so long. I think he needs to put on a little bit of grown man weight. Plus, he's a dad. He got to put on a little dad weight. Get some dad arms. Get a little bigger.
He should fight Sterling again.
Ooh, that could be fun at 145.
Sterling's fighting Ortega next, though.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're locked up. But I think that could be a move for Sugar Sean. Him at 135 forever just doesn't seem right to me.
No.
He needs to reinvent his shit, and I think losing twice to Barab does that too. You know, it's
dominant fashion.
In dominant fashion. I mean, Barab got you.
So.
He got you. So you got to bounce. That's his division from here on out. I mean, next week we got Lewis versus Teixeira. Who are you taking here?
Teixeira. I'm not going to bet against Derek Lewis.
I'm taking Teixeira.
All right.
Teixeira's a monster. Like 6'7", monster heavyweight, knockout power. Derek Lewis has got knockout power. We know that much. So I won't argue against you there.
And Lewis is the underdog, too. I like the underdog.
I just don't know if he's going to do good against that size.
4-inch reach advantage for Teixeira.
You said the reach advantage is Teixeira?
Yeah, by 4 inches.
Let me see. All right, let's see.
83 for Teixeira, 79 for Lewis.
83. Oh, yeah, we already talked about this, that he has an 8-foot wingspan. No, 7-foot wingspan.
It's nuts.
Fucking bananas. And I mean, Derek Lewis's ain't that bad either.
No.
Yeah. 6'7" wingspan or 6'11" wingspan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty lanky.
6'7".
Yeah, 6'7" is decent for Derek Lewis. He's just so stocky, you don't really notice it, and I think that's why he gets so much knockouts.
Yeah.
But Teixeira, yeah, literally like 7-foot wingspan. Dude's massive. So all of his fights have been very decisive. He's been coming up kind of like Aspinall, and I think he could be the real Aspinall. You know, because that's all we see from him too. We've only seen first-round knockouts from him. We haven't seen too many tests.
Right, that's true.
So I think this is like a good test for Teixeira to see where, like, you know, he can be ranked in the heavyweight division and where his goals could be. Because yeah, if you get slept by Derek Lewis, it is what it is. I mean, it happens. Many people have and came back from it. But if you go in there, you dominate Derek Lewis. He's like a gatekeeper guy now. He's not like a title contender.
Mm.
There's a reason why when you talk about, who could fight Tom Aspinall or John Jones, Derek Lewis is not mentioned. He's not a title contender. As much as people love him, and he's probably the most popular heavyweight out of everybody, but no one mentions him because they know he's not in that class anymore. So right now, he's a gatekeeper. And if he could help get Talisman in there, let's see.
And Aspinall's never made it to the third round in the UFC.
No.
Crazy.
Yeah, I haven't really seen too much tape on him. A lot of quick finishes.
Mm-hmm.
You got Thompson and Bonfim. His Wonder Boy's 42. I just think he is really old.
And this is like the worst matchup for Thompson to fight a grappler like this.
And he's a young grappler too, 27 in his prime.
Yeah, this is
gonna be rough. But we got Nate Landwehr fighting.
That's like a Terrence McKinney fight. Somebody's getting finished.
Somebody's getting finished. Somebody's going. They're both gonna go hard because I think Landwehr makes you go hard. Or
pause.
That's it.
Pause, brother. Pause. Wow.
Junior Tafa versus Tuco Tucos.
That's gonna.
I'm taking Tafa.
Yep.
I've seen Tucos fight in the regional scenes. And I've seen him lose.
That fight probably isn't going to make it to the second round.
No. Max Griffin, Chris Curtis. I think I'm taking Max Griffin.
You're taking Max Griffin?
I'm taking Max fucking Griffin.
Plus 260.
Because he's a dog.
Ah, damn. All right.
Max Griffin stands and bangs.
Wow. I didn't expect that. Okay. I think I'm going to take – I don't like Chris Curtis, but I think I'll take Curtis.
Max Payne Griffin.
You got Johnny Walker's brother fighting.
You know why I think he's decent?
Why?
Because, I mean, he went the distance with Michael Morales.
He did. That is impressive.
And he really put up a good fight.
He hasn't been finished. But he got finished by Chiesa. Kind of tough.
Third round submission. Chiesa's a legend in his own right, and especially a submission. If you got knocked out or like a head kicked by Chiesa, that's different.
But how'd you go the distance with Morales and get finished by Chiesa? That makes no
sense. Chiesa's a vet. He couldn't finish the vet.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, I know.
That is wild, man.
I know it's a tough pick, but I'm going Max Payne Griffin.
Big money on Griffin.
Big money on Griffin. Oh, here we go. So I present to you.
What is that?
The Battle of
Oh my God.
Averar. So this the year. So I told you the year 400.
Yep.
May 26, 451. Look at this. Averar playing in Armenia. It was a pivotal clash between Armenian army under, this guy and this guy versus the Persian Empire. I just don't want to butcher their names. While Persian military victory is considered a strategic moral victory for the Armenians, securing their right to practice Christianity. But right here, it is considered one of the first battles in defense of Christian faith. So what it was is, if you look at the map, we got to look at the Persian map. That's a good one. Yeah. So, like, Persia was almost all of this, right?
Mm.
And here's Greece. And basically, this is what the Crusades were all about. What? How did we get here? Oh, yeah. Ilya versus Sarukian. So, if you look, Armenian is here, right?
Yeah.
Which one is it, Sharon? Oh, right here. I got this map up. But this is all the Persian Empire. Even into like Egypt and everything. Like they conquered all of this. And the first people to stand up was Armenia. And it actually, they fought and almost all of their army died, right?
Yeah.
But that's what this whole thing is. Here, I'll share this tab instead. Go back to this. But yeah, so the majority of the Armenians really died in this battle. But in reality, it took so many of the the Persians' armies from everywhere. They had to go get like everybody because it wasn't like they were on some one-on-one shit.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, for any new viewers coming in, Ilya Topuria just won the UFC championship, and no, he didn't. No, he's number one contender for the UFC championship at 155, and he's Georgian, and he's going to be facing potentially an Armenian man, an Armen Sarukian. And I was telling him the history of the Armenian Empire and everything else. Somehow we got into it, but yeah, this battle right here. It took so many like extra resources and everything from the Persian Empire. They put it all into this to fight them, and then everyone around peeped and then said, "Wait, it took 8 of y'all armies to kill one of theirs. We got a chance." And everyone stood up after that, and that was the start of it all.
That's your history lesson.
That's your history lesson for today. Thank you to Arman Sarukian for bringing up Armenian heritage. But yeah, so Arman and probably Ilya will be next, most likely because 155 will be vacated. I think Islam's going to move up. And he's been talking about moving up for so long. I think Dana White's going to be in the right to say, yeah, I took your 155. I stripped you.
Wait, who's moving up?
Islam.
Yeah, he's moving to 170.
Islam's moving up to 170.
Yeah.
It's going to 55 is going to be vacated. Then that's when it's going to be an open fight. No one's champ. Arman versus Ilya. Boom.
No, Ilya already won.
We beat Charles, right?
The belt was nobody's.
Oh, it was vacated?
Yeah, no, Topuria won.
Topuria won?
Yeah, that was
okay. That was officially the belt.
Yeah, he's double champ.
All right, he is double champ.
I mean, he relinquished the featherweight belt and he moved to this fight and won this belt.
But that's why I don't think he was considered double champ.
Oh yeah, it's kind of. I mean,
he relinquished it
because he didn't hold them simultaneously.
Right.
But
to where if Volkanovski won, he would have been.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like he played his cards all wrong. I just don't get why it actually played out this way. But that's where we're at.
So want to move over to WNBA?
Sure.
So I got this trade offer. You know, I don't like part of it I liked, part of it I didn't, so I'm going to go to you because you obviously this is fantasy, so you're obviously
this is our WNBA fantasy team.
Fantasy stuff, so
okay.
So I would be trading Ryan Howard and De'Arica Hamby for Angel Reese and Arike Ngumbawale. And Angel Reese is the best scorer out of anybody.
And you're getting Angel Reese?
I'm getting Angel Reese and Arike, but I'm trading De'Arica Hamby and Ryan Howard.
All right, so let's go to your team.
It was kind of intriguing to me. But the thing I'm banking on is Arike playing better. And I think she's got the least amount of points out of those four people.
So who was your first pick?
I don't know who my first pick was.
This team looks crazy. Yeah. You need. So you're gonna get rid of Hamby. You drafted Hamby first overall.
I was asleep and sick. I didn't draft her.
Oh, it auto drafted it.
Yeah, I auto drafted the whole thing.
So you want to trade Hamby for Reese? I mean, I like that.
Yeah, I just wanted that straight up, but he didn't want to do that.
Hamby for Reese, but he wants Ryan Howard for who?
Arike.
Yeah, I'd do it.
You would do it?
I would do it.
But the thing is, I'm banking on Arike playing better.
Yeah.
She hasn't put up good numbers so far this season, including last night. I don't even know if she hit her average last night without Paige.
And then whose team is this? Who are you trading with again?
This is Jaden's team.
Jaden's team.
And I'm kind of surprised he's giving up Angel Reese because Reese is I think 8th overall in total points in fantasy.
Yeah, double machine.
Yeah. But Arike, what did she have? She had 10 fantasy points last night. She's averaging 14.6 this season.
Shit. I'll start trading with him if he's trying to make trades. But I understand because his team kind of fell apart. You got Bonner, you know.
Yeah. You were going to be right on that under for Bonner though for the year, but now I don't know if she's going to be able to play enough games now.
Oh, she won't qualify?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, no, I don't know.
There's a games limit on bets?
I would think so. I mean, she hasn't played many games. I don't know if
What does it mean? It's per game. I didn't bet on totals.
No, but I mean, she hasn't played a whole lot.
So what does that mean?
That she hasn't. I mean, if you only play 7 or 8 of the 44 games, I don't know.
If I bet her over, it would lose.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess. I don't know. I don't know if there's a limit. I don't know.
Because what if she played 10 games, but she dropped 30 every game?
I still don't think that would be enough. I don't know. I could be. I'm just.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it'll go, but I hope they don't void the bet.
Yeah.
Because
how many?
She averaged 7 points a game, and bro, the line was like 14.
Yeah.
It was 14.2 actually. I think that was the real line, and I hammered it under 14.2 with Caitlin Clark, with Kelsey Mitchell, with Aaliyah Boston. Natasha Howard is now on the squad too.
She's played 3.
How many of the people like Lexi Hull's got to score a little, Sophie Cunningham's got to score a little, McDonald can get a bucket. They got Erin McDonald there. Sydney Colson sometimes.
No, not anytime.
Sydney's so funny because she'll do like 2 moves and you're like, she looks like the most skilled player in the league.
Right, she's got really good handle.
And then out of nowhere, 3 possessions go by where she's just doing bonkers shit and the ball goes flying.
Yep.
And you're like, what the fuck just happened? You just did it behind the back.
Who is this?
Jamal Crawford shake and bake for the finish. And then the next play, she's like going off her shoe and doing a bunch of silly shit. But I think that's just Sydney Colson.
Sydney Colson experience. Thing with Ryan Howard, she's kind of shaky too.
Mm-hmm.
But she's
not Ryan Howard.
I mean, scoring wise, yes, she's
points wise,
incredibly inefficient. But the
she has nights where she lets the 3 fly, and then other nights where she doesn't want to shoot.
But she also rebounds and passes well, though.
Yes, and you get defensive stats with her. She blocks shots. She steals the ball. Like, and our league values that.
But then I'm getting damn near a guaranteed double from Reese every night.
Yeah, I would take Angel Reese in a heartbeat right now. I have nobody on my squad like that. BG's chips.
I don't know what's going on with her. She's not playing a lot.
Yeah, she doesn't play a lot of minutes, and she doesn't board up. She just kind of like stands like 8 feet from the basket, and that's like her spot. And that's where she goes, but everyone just undercuts her for these boards.
And why do you think she isn't playing a lot? I mean,
I think they're saving her.
That's what I was thinking. They were saving her for the postseason or something because they've played great in the regular season. She hasn't played a whole lot.
Right now, she's at her Brooke Lopez stage.
Mm.
You know, but like Brooke Lopez a couple years ago.
She got to develop a 3 now.
Oh, she does. The 3 is there. She's just got to shoot it a little more.
Yeah, we know she can hit them. She hardly shoots it though.
Yeah, she shot a few, but I think she's a sniper. To be honest, you just gotta let her set up. It's not going to be off the dribble. It's always off the catch.
Yeah, they give space.
He can shoot now.
Right.
I like what Anissa Morrow's been doing, and she got double-double. Dropped 20 and 10 last game.
Yeah, she's been getting more minutes lately, as she should.
And I got Anissa Morrow on my squad now, which is always great.
Tomorrow's
I got both the rookies. I got Sanaya Rivers and Anissa Morrow.
Sanaya Rivers is going to be so good.
Yes. Why is Temi? Why does it say off? Rest?
She's in a Eurobasket.
She returned.
Oh, she's returned already.
Oh,
I know McCowan is supposed to be back on Thursday from the Eurobasket League.
I know. I dropped McCowan.
I have. Yeah,
I picked her up.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to be gone for a little longer. I also thought she's never really playing. And the new head coach there is a fucking weirdo.
He's horrible.
He is probably the worst coach in WNBA history.
He's so lost out there.
I'm not joking. I think Paige is running the show.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's like literally like, I bet you he has like secret meetings with her. And it's just like him and her and like the other coaches. And they're like, Paige, what do you want to do?
And then he was,
what kind of offense would you like?
and they were talking to him after that Fever game, and they were asking him why they got off to such a slow start, and he was like, I don't know. I don't know what happened. How do you not have an answer to that?
Yeah.
How do you not know what happened? Say some big ass answer or something.
I don't like the guy. I guess he was Kurt Miller's assistant.
Yep.
In Connecticut. I guess he was our assistant coach for a while. And everything that I heard through the signing process and when he got announced and everything, that they call him a servant leader. That blah blah blah. Basically that he like likes to help everything, likes to help everybody, he's a helper, it's that type of thing. I just don't know if he is the right type of person, I guess, or personality in that locker room. Because one, they were already, I don't know, in a weird stage. You know, you got like, they're on like two timelines.
Mm-hmm.
They had their Satu, and then she left, and now you're like, all right, so we don't have the vets with the budding superstar. Like we have Enrique sort of kind of falling out of her prime, but she's still there if there was competent people around her. If everything else was buzzing, she'd be good, Brett. But like, it's a little weird there. And she shouldn't necessarily be the point guard all the time. There should be something else, which there's Paige now.
Yeah.
And Paige is the true facilitator of the team, which then slides Enrique back to more of the off guard. And she's amazing there. I love her in the off guard position. So, boom, you got those two set. But like I said, there's just this age gap. And I think they see it with McCowan, and she's bigger and slow. And you want some more shooting around Paige and playmaking. And she has the playmaking. You want the shooting, and then from there, hopefully, they got some IQ and everything else. But mainly, you want something that serves Paige. And I don't think McCowan's game serves Paige because McCowan still wants to get hers. And she's also in that stage of a win-now player. And that's the two-timeline approach. You can't help Paige truly grow when you got players that'll try to get theirs around her. And she's still figuring it out. The other thing, Melissa Smith, what the fuck is going on with her?
She's horrible.
Like, she averaged more points with Caitlin Clark than without her. And she was talking about she was holding her back, and she shouldn't be the star, and that's why she left the team. She didn't want to play there anymore because she said she couldn't be the player she could be. I also think this is the coach. I'm blaming the coach on this. Why Melissa Smith is in terrible positions. Why is she your 5? And why do you run her like she's McCowan? But then you don't play McCowan because you say she's too big and slow. And you don't like the way she plays, and she's a little selfish. Well, one, Melissa Smith, could take possessions over. I'm not gonna say she's selfish, but
I mean, she's better offensively than McCowan is. I mean, she has more stuff in her bag than McCowan does.
But she's only being used as a roller and just like a sealer on offense, like just to crash the offensive glass. That's all she's doing. She's getting no touches, no opportunities. She's not catching in spots where she wants to operate. Melissa Smith plays like, at times, you give her the rock and the fever 2 years ago, back when she was like a rookie, or maybe 2-3 years ago, rookie, second-year player before Caitlin Clark got there. Sometimes she would try to play like Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, she really tried.
She would have her heels on the three-point line. She's going to try to kill you from the midi. Mm-hmm. She's going to pull up for midi, and it's going to be a far mid-range shot. It's not one of these free throw middies.
Right.
Heels on the 3. Or she's breaking you down, banging down low, like driving, taking you to the rack. She's playing with more perimeter in her game. And now she's playing from like 10 feet away, 12 feet away, instead of 17, 18 feet almost by the 3-point line.
I mean, I like her more in the post. I don't like her as much, taking those 22-footers or 3-pointers.
Oh my God! Did Michael Beasley just get caught gambling?
I saw something that Sham just
put. Seen your eyes blow up, and I'm like, why? Why did his eyes just do that? And I looked at my phone, and I seen Sham's.
We're getting news every Sunday. 2 weeks ago, it was
investigating Detroit Pistons guard
on allegations of gambling related to NBA games and prop bets. Serious development surrounding one of the top NBA free agents.
I told you, bro. I told you this shit's Vegas. When I was saying it, people think I'm crazy. Now we got Jonte Porter. This is one season. Jonte Porter, Terry Rozier, Michael Beasley.
Malik Beasley. Michael Beasley's probably betting too, though. He was probably betting.
He bet all his money that he won in the 1v1 versus Lance Stevenson.
As he should. I would have taken.
He bet it with Malik Beasley, his cousin.
I would have taken.
Oh my God.
He was supposed to sign 3 years, $42 million.
I was just about to tell you that Beasley and the Pistons were in serious talks. Zoinks! Oh my God! And there were nights where, man, he would go 1 for 12, and it's like.
No, but he made the most 3-pointers in the regular season last year.
No, I know.
I mean, he was really good.
He broke records.
An efficient 3-point shooter. So this is kind of odd to me. Like, Jonte Porter was trash. Terry Rozier didn't play well, so they would take the unders or something. Beasley's actually playing well.
They take the overs.
So it's kind of surprising to me.
Well, maybe they knew he had the green light, and he's like, bet, I'll take more threes every night. Set the line.
I mean, how much are you really – you're going to could make $42 million and you're going to bet. What an idiot.
They're idiots. Truly.
That's crazy. Wow. What the hell was he thinking?
Vegas, too much money in it.
Jesus. Now he's going to be making nothing.
Right. Oh, my God.
Won't be making $42 million. What a jackass. Jesus Christ. Wow.
He's done, though. You don't come back from this. It's a death sentence.
Wow.
I mean, Rozier's done. He's coming off like a $26 million deal or some shit.
But they're still playing, though.
What?
Rozier's still playing.
Yeah, but it was like an investigation, and but he's in the middle of a contract negotiation.
Yeah.
And I think he might be a free agent, so he might be fucked because no one wants to touch him. Like I'm saying, Rozier was stuck on a deal.
Yeah.
This guy might be out to dry.
Jesus.
Oh, man. But, yeah, the WNBA has been kind of crazy. At least, maybe Bonner will go to the Mercury, play with her wife again.
I saw that that's her preferred destination. Obviously, not a surprise.
And then they cut TJ McConnell's sister recently.
Right. And she played what, 1 or 2 games?
And then broke her knee.
Yeah.
Poor girl. I watched it. It was so sad. And it looked painful, too. Like, she broke a bone. It's not like she tore a ligament or whatever. I mean, either way, it hurts. But now that I've torn my Achilles and shit, I kind of know a little bit on how it feels.
Right.
And it's more of like a limp, numbing feeling. You feel a pull, you feel the pressure. You feel a sensation, and it hurts. But a broken bone is on another level.
Right.
And that girl broke her kneecap. Like, I don't know how. She stopped and nasty. Nasty word. Poor McConnell's sister. And then, then he loses in the finals. But at least he got there. Good for him and his family.
And he played well.
Yeah. And she played well for a while she was playing. She was looking good. I'm like, look at TJ McConnell's sister. She's nice. Oh, poor girl.
Mercury role players have been pretty good.
Yeah, all the rookies.
I mean, stepping in for Kalia Copper missing a bunch of time, Alyssa Thomas missing.
Lexi held.
Yeah, Lexi held.
Straight bucket. Then you got Monica Koa Makani. She's nice.
West Beld.
West Beld's been good. Yeah.
All players had at least had one or two nights that they would step up.
True.
So you think I should take this Enrique trade?
Yeah.
All right.
Because Reese is that valuable.
Yeah, why not? My team. I'm gonna lose again this week. 2 straight losses.
I don't know. I've been wanting to make a trade or something, but I've been just shuffling free agents. I make trade offers. No one ever accepts them or even writes me back. So I've kind of given up on that.
I usually don't trade.
Yeah, you usually don't trade. That's true. But we do use free agency a lot.
I do. How do you say her last name? Janelle
Salon?
Yeah, I just picked her up. But I'm going to put her on the IR because I think she should be back soon from the Eurobasket League. I hope.
Lee Aru was almost somebody I picked up for a second. Sierra McCown was out, and then she had 2 double-doubles.
I think Lee might work best with Paige.
Yeah, Lee's great. I like Lee. Lee is a modern big. That's who they want, and they found her finally.
She does look lost out there, though, on offense. Sometimes she doesn't know whether or not she should be setting the screen and just kind of runs around in circles and then goes back to the paint. She was getting fried by Aaliyah Boston. She was getting fried by Aaliyah Boston. Oh, my God, it was bad. She was either fouling her. Oh, my God, anywhere she was taking the 8 or 9 foot shots. She was taking little baseline mid-ranges. She was getting cooked by Boston. It was bad.
And that's the part where McCowan is better. They may be the same size, but McCowan, she beats you to your spot. Because she's big, she's known that forever. And Aaliyah Boston might want to set up 6 to 8 feet. McCowan makes you set up at 10. Whatever it is, she's gonna push you off a little bit more. She's gonna hold it. She's a vet, and she knows that. And Lee, I don't know if she knows that yet.
She's soft.
Yeah, she's a little soft, but she's skilled. I like Lee.
Yeah, I mean she's definitely better offensively than McCowan, but I would take.
Keep it real. I would take Lee and what she could do over Malanga. Malanga, I mean, she really is built in an incredible way. Have you seen her? Have you watched Malanga play yet?
Yeah, she's still really young though.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll ever be there. The skill, she's got some stuff for sure. But the one-of-one body for I've never seen a girl built like that.
All right.
6'8", but the length, and she's so skinny. Her arms look so long; they look like they never end.
Yeah.
I think she when she puts her arms out, I think she could push them further. I think they could just keep going sometimes.
Be stretch.
Yeah, she was dribbling. She did some moves. She actually got caught up, and I swear her arms went in a pretzel, and they went through each other twice. They just kept looping, and it was just wrapping around each other when she got wrapped up in the ball. She's so long and lanky. I don't know if she's ever gonna figure it out because her handling, the way she dribbles the ball is just bad. She leaves the ball out. I don't know, but I like Lee. And the Sonics had to make that decision. I mean, the Storm. The Storm had to make it.
Sonics. It should be the Sonics.
It should be the Supersonics. The Storm had to make that decision, and they did. They cut Lee.
But I think she's playing with a lot of. I mean, you couldn't really learn from anybody better. I mean, to have Ezi Magbagor, Nneka Ogwumike, you have a great point guard like Diggins, all veterans, all have had plenty of success in the league.
But they all had her play a role
Mm-hmm.
when Lee was there. Lee's got it now. Like you said, hopefully she learned a few things watching and being around it to now kind of execute some of that stuff. But I think Lee and McCowan could be a really good duo pair because you could play 20 minutes, 25 minutes, the other 15, 20 minutes, break it up. And now you got a 6'7" big at all times.
But you can't really start them together.
No. That's what I'm saying. Stagger them.
Right.
One starts, one's their backup. Regardless, you got a 6'7" center the whole game, which is rare in the W. Not every team has that.
I just don't like what they have at the 4, because it's either Nalissa Smith or Maisha Hines-Allen.
Yeah, but the problem is they've been putting Smith at the 5.
Yeah.
And they don't give her proper touches. They just have her literally in there boxing out.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone else is spacing out, doing their thing. And they're like, yeah, Nalissa, box out. You're a baller. You're a hooper. Mm-hmm. A hooper's hooper. You can ball. Go box out and set a screen. Which is what they told Lee Uru to do for the Storm for years.
Mm-hmm.
And Nalissa Smith wasn't even put in that role on the Fever. That's what I feel like. I don't even feel bad for her, really, because she could have been cooking.
And it's odd because she's put up pretty good numbers throughout her career, and if you look at the numbers, you're like,
and now she has free reign to do whatever the fuck she wants, and she doesn't do shit.
Yeah, she's a pretty good player, and then
I think she maybe also having her girl on the team is pretty distracting.
Mm-hmm.
I think that could be a thing. I could be wrong, but we've never seen Nalissa Smith not do that, like be in this situation. Never seen her not be able to score. If anything, if we're going to say anything about Nalissa Smith, we've never seen her not score.
And Dejanay has also not played well at all offensively.
No. So I think they could be on the bullshit.
And they also moved her to the bench before she got hurt with that rib injury.
Yeah, they did.
So, I mean,
Maddie Segrist is hurt too, so it's like affected so many lineups.
She's also not shot the ball well, really ever in her career from the field or from the 3-point. She shot 37.1% from the 3-point line in 2023, but other than that, it's been 30.6% or lower. For the other 4 seasons, from beyond the 3-point line. Career average 28.6%.
Yeah, she's not a good.
Field goal percentage.
She had one good year.
And her field goal percentage from last season to this season, 40.3 to 35.6.
Field goal
percentage from last season.
Terrible. 35% of the field is dog shit.
And 40% isn't good either. League average is above 43.
Right, but when you're a stopper and you do so many other things, you can excuse a little bit of it. You're like, yeah, it's Dejanay. She's not offensively gifted. It's everything else with her. But, yeah, when she's not doing the everything else and then going 35, everything is declining.
And she averaged a career high in points last year.
Yeah, her and Nalissa Smith teaming up was not a good idea. I know Alyssa Thomas did it, and with DeWanna Bonner, it's a different story.
They were also like more seasoned too in the league.
Yeah, they were older. Like these girls needed to prove themselves, and now they're coming together. I don't know if Thomas and Bonner started dating and teamed up because of that.
Right.
I think they met through teaming up, and then their love story started. That's none of my business. But we've known these two to be dating for a long time publicly, and they were their own players, and now they come together and they're lesser than anything.
Right.
So it just kind of seems like maybe you guys are distracting each other or something. I could be wrong. I could be way out of left field here. But.
And I will say it's early in the season, but the other thing is you don't have as much time to turn things around because it's only 44 games. So, I mean, you're not even halfway through the season, but again, it's not you don't have that much time.
And you got a shitty coach.
Yeah, that's it.
We probably can't tell anybody what to do.
And
I think that's what I got a read from it, that he's a really nice guy. He's a pushover. He's a big helper. He wants to be everyone's friend. He's very personable and he wants to be accepted, right? So, like, that's who he is. You can't be that as a coach. Gino is not there trying to be your best bud.
Right.
You know, Gino's going to be hard as fuck on you. And then after, when he takes you out to dinner after hard work and you guys won, then he'll chop it up with you and learn who you are as a person and everything else. But, like, it always comes basketball first. This is business. We're here to win.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not here on the collective journey of practicing, film, everything, like, if you're not bought into any of it or all of it, whatever, then you can't be here. And you got to, you know, and Gino would check you. I just don't think that guy's got it in him.
Right.
To be a coach who could check these players at this level.
I agree.
Yeah, so get him the fuck out of here. He's too much of a nice guy. He's probably a great assistant, and that's maybe what you need. And I think at times he was probably just more of a player's coach, you know?
Right.
And I think he's just getting walked over really bad. And that's the way I've seen it. I've seen it from the beginning. The interviews from game one and on, the sideline interviews, the way the players talk about the coach or lack thereof. Like they say a lot of shit, and they also don't say a lot of shit.
You see the body language on the court from Carrington.
Yep. Carrington, Enrique too. I thought you were going to say Enrique, but yeah, Carrington as well.
So
that team's a mess.
It really is.
They got to fire that clown.
But they won last night without Page. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, they still went under. They can't put points up. They faced the Washington Wizards, and they lost. And they won, but
yeah.
Fuck. You beat the Wizards. What are we talking about? That's what we're calling it, right? We're calling them the Wizards and the men's team, the Mystics.
Yeah, this team's better, so we'll go with the Wizards now.
Yeah, we're the Wizards. The other team's the Mystics. Until Alex Sarr figures it out, or hey, you got to root for Trey Johnson. Why aren't you rooting for Trey Johnson?
Tell me why. I don't know.
His real name, Richard. This is a great bridge into the mock draft real quick. I want to get into
this. He hates the name. That's why he chose Trey.
Well, no, it's Richard Johnson III. He's the third Richard of the lineage. So you got to respect Richard lineages.
I'm the second.
Sort of, yeah. Usually it's the dad to the son. Uncle to the son. I respect it.
Kind of went a different direction, but
a little different direction. Here, let me make sure it's zoomed in good. Close and accept. I gotta close all these advertisements. My God, this is what my website has become. All right, so I pretty much nailed the draft. Did you take a look at my mock draft or not?
I have not.
All right, so this is my mock draft. I had Dallas taking Cooper Flagg, Spurs taking Dylan Harper, and to be honest, I would have took Ace Bailey. But I understand why they didn't take Ace Bailey because you got Victor and you can't take chances. You got to take guarantees, and Dylan Harper's a guarantee. So when I had 3, I thought, you don't have the wing depth. You got Paul George there. They're the exact same size. They're at the combine. I looked at their heights, 6'7" and a half. And Ace Bailey has a lot of the Paul George intangibles. So I had him going to Philly at 3. But I had Khan at 4, which was correct.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking nailed Khan Knippel at 4. You know how good that feels? Because who the fuck had Khan Knippel at 4?
I don't know. You did.
I did. And then at 5, I had VJ. Valdez Edgecombe. So I loved what he did for the Bahamas team. I think he's really solid. I just thought that Philly had two shooting guards of the future, two young guys, that they didn't need a third guard. You got Maxey, you got Jared McCain. Do you need VJ Edgecombe? Like I said, they got PG. I figured they would have potentially brought somebody in, put him under his wing, and it would have been like the ultimate mentor side by side thing. And he could have developed. But they're bringing in VJ, who's a shooting guard, 6'5", 6'4", barefoot, and he's got some work to do to get to be a better player. I think he's going to start off probably being more of a hustle energy guy, and then working his way up and progressing his game. He could pass a little bit, he could dribble a little bit, he could do a little bit of everything, but he's not like he's a jack of all trades, master of none, and but a really good foundation. He's really strong kid, really fast. So you just hope everything works out. And he also's got like he said it. He's just like he came from nothing, and he's got all the drive in the world to better himself and his family. And so I think VJ has like the proper mindset to be great. And with that, I think he also has a good Philly attitude. I think he's going to do great in Philly because he's a hard worker, and he got it out the mud. And like his story is like something Meek Mill raps about.
Mm-hmm.
This guy lived it. You know what I'm saying?
Rookie of the year?
Rookie of the year is not VJ Edgecombe. I think rookie of the year could be Ace Bailey. Ace Bailey. Coop has a chance, and especially if the team is in the playoff hunt, they're going to be a topic. What do you think 16 points over under on Cooper Flag?
Oof. That's tough. I'd take the over.
I'm taking the under.
I mean, who else is going to score on that team?
AD and some other dudes.
They do have
Jaden Hardy, Spencer Dinwiddie. I think there's going to be some other options. PJ Washington, Derek Lively, Gafford. They got some guys. Max Christie. I really think they're gonna share the sugar. If anything, his assist numbers might be better than his points for like what people are looking for.
He's a good passer too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a good passer. I compared him to Siakam, Chris Webber, Tatum, Stackhouse. Look at Chris Webber's assist numbers. He probably averaged 5.5 dimes a game, and that's back in the day where he was a power forward and the paint was clogged and there wasn't spacing like that. Like he was a point forward before people even realized what the fuck a point forward was. I swear, Chris Webber was dumb nice.
4.2.
4.2 for his career.
Yeah, that's really good for a power forward.
What was this like prime? Because Chris Webber also had some dog shit years where he threw them away and was out of shape and a bunch of stuff.
The highest he had was 95-96 season. He averaged 5 assists, but he only played 15 games.
Mm-hmm.
So a full 67 games in the 02-03 season, he averaged 5.4. That was his career high.
Yeah.
So
like he's a guy that's reached 5.5 assists a game. Like I'm telling you, Chris Webber dropped dimes. 5.5 assists is no joke.
Right. And points were harder to come by in that time, in that era.
I don't know if Cooper does bang down low, but it's not like a dominance.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have that to his game, but he's got a lot of it. He's got the transition stuff. He's got a couple fun highlights, and I think he could throw the lob, and he'll be really good throwing the lob to Lively or AD.
Yeah, you could just throw it
to him.
You throw it to AD wherever, he's going to catch it.
So I think he's going to have success just off of that. He has a lot of guys around him that are going to help him succeed. A lot of play finishers because the team was built for Luka.
Mm-hmm.
and now you're bringing a guy in there in the small forward position because Luka would guard threes. So now this guy is going to basically come in and do what Luka does, except ball handle, bring the rock up. He might do some ball handling in the half court, but he's not bringing it up possession to possession. He's not going to be that guy for this team.
Right.
So they'll find other guys to do that role. But I think he'll find he might get over 3 assists a game as a rookie. I think he has the opportunity to do that. With Dylan Harper, his over-under is set at 14 per points, and I took the under as well. I did a season bet on Prize Picks. They dropped them, but they only have a few players, so it sucks.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No, but I know they don't give you a lot. I know Prize Picks doesn't really give you a lot of anything. It's
like Luka, LeBron, Curry, Tatum. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is literally like 5 players in the NBA. Like, that's what the NBA is. Nobody else has an over-under for a season except these 6 players who weren't even in the finals.
No love for SGA.
I actually think SGA is there. I took the over on his threes. It was 1.8, so I got him hitting maybe at least 2 threes a game next season, which I think he will. He's a lot like Jordan. I think he has a lot of similarities, and his game develops and evolves every year, and he's going to add something new next year, and I think it's the 3-point shot. I think Shea's going to take over the league with a 3-point shot. People are going to go, what the fuck do we do now? Because that was the one thing that we could give him. And I think the 3 is going to be there. But yeah, I got Dylan Harper under 14 for the season. And I say that because you got De'Aaron Fox. Stephon Castle just won Rookie of the Year. He's not going to go in there. I mean, he's going to pull up and welcome you, but he's not going to give up his stuff. So I don't know. I just don't know if Dylan Harper is going to go in there and do everything that you want. So I'm taking under 14. But he could be great. I'm not saying he can't be. I just think the opportunity isn't there for him to do that right now. Unless something opens up. A De'Aaron Fox trade. Stephon Castle trade or something like that. Other than that, I don't think he'll get enough attempts and everything to be averaging 15 plus as a rookie. Who knows? I could be wrong. Because they still have Vassell, too. Vassell's going to want to drop 20 points a game. Keldon Johnson's still on the squad. Did they trade Harrison Barnes?
I don't think so.
They got Harrison Barnes on the team that wants 10 points. And Keldon Johnson's probably trying for 12 but wants 20. You got Vassell trying for 20, going for 20. Wemby's over-under, they set at 24 points. I slammed the over. 24? I think he could do 24. So, I got a NBA season parlay. I'm pretty excited about it.
Unless Giannis joins the team.
You're right about that. And then the under still hits with Harper.
Yeah. Then it would definitely hit Harper.
I'm saying. But yeah, so check this out. Top 6. This year I was 6 of 6 on my mock draft. Except for players wise, the player pool. It's not like I missed any of the players. I didn't miss my assessments.
All right.
The only thing I did miss was ace for VJ. But top 6 nailed. This next one, I picked Igor Demin, right? And everybody had Igor Demin 15 or higher. Nobody had Igor in the top 10. I want to say that. Nobody had him in the top 10. Not 8, 9, 10, 11. You name it. Nobody had him near this. He went 8 to Brooklyn. So that means the first 8. I got it wrong. I'll say that. I'm not saying I got Igor Demin correct.
You were one off.
I was one off, and nobody had him projected this high. That just proves how high I was on him. I'm just saying, like, this dude is a top-level talent.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially. But there's so many bad mocks on him. There's so many everything on him. I still believe he's got some game and has some potential. So that means I got 7 out of 8. I landed the players in my assessment correct. And Malawatch went 10. But to land Igor, nobody got Igor in their top 8. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty fucking proud of that. Nobody had Igor in their top 8, and I got him in my top 8, and I landed the top 6.
Nice.
So this draft, I was on grind mode. I got my torn Achilles, and I'm benched. So I got all the time in the world to really dive in and grind and watch the film that I needed to watch. And yeah, so my assessment was decent in the top 10. After that, it's really a crapshoot. I had Toronto taking Carter Bryant. He ended up going 14 to the Spurs, which is another great pick for them because he's a really toolsy guy that I think could develop. When you watch him in like high school and stuff, they had to throw him at the 5. He played at a regular high school. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he went through all the bullshit in the process of being this 6'7" guy. And he didn't go to like a top high school where they let him play shooting guard and let him be an asshole. You know, like
Montverde Academy.
Yeah, like Montverde Academy, like Jalen Green. He's 6'5", and he went somewhere. They let him be a point guard, and they let him dick around and try to drop 40 every game and all that. This dude actually had to be the 5, and then he had some like. You know, he'd get the board and take it down himself. A lot of his high school stuff is really nice when you watch it. You're like, all right, this kid like gets it. Like he's playing every role he should, and he played the 5 spot like a big. Whenever they switched him on the guards, he's like down in a stance and he locks up. So like he's super switchable in the best way. I love Carter Bryant. I'd say Richard Jefferson is probably his best like assessment of what he could be. The worst is probably Tamani Camara, lockdown defender, and could maybe hit a shot or two, finish his plays, could play the dunker spot. And then the highest could go up to Kawhi. When you watch his form and some of the reads that he makes, it's top level. And he's doing it most off the pivot in one dribble. It's real quick, seamless stuff. It's none of the fluff. Ace has some fluff. Carter Bryant, no fluff. And his parents, his grandparents are deaf on his mom's side. And so his mom grew up, I don't think she has any hearing deficiencies, but both of his grandparents are deaf. So he knows sign language, and he holds like charity events and like camps and stuff for deaf kids. He's like a really good kid. Mm-hmm. All the interviews, he's like really like sweet. Like he really wants to give back. He's like a good, grounded kid. I think it's the best way I could describe him. He's like just a good kid. He's like if I don't know, like if you were in this position or something, like you'd just be like, he's a high character, good person. Right. You know, he seems like that. I don't know. He could be a piece of shit. Who knows? But I know. Hey, I'm just saying, what he appears and what he really presents, and from what everyone says around him in these interviews and the quotes and everything that journalists have gotten, seems to be like probably the best person of the draft damn near. Like just gives back, understands his platform, and understands what he could do to give back. Charitable, like a Jaylen Brown, you know. Like someone like that, I think he's going to come to the league. He's going to win, like, I forget what it's called. It's not like the Wilt Chamberlain Award or best teammate. What's like the best teammate or like the most, he gives back the most to the community. It's like a community award. Yeah. He's going to be one of these guys that's like a model citizen. And he's going to win those awards. and he's going to be maybe like in the NBA PA. He's going to be like the president of the PA one day. Like he's one of these type of guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like a CJ McCollum, really well studied, good person and everything. But we did see CJ did fuck up the CBA with contracts a little bit. But overall, a good guy out for the betterment of players and people in general and humanity. So I don't know. I like everything I've heard from interviews with him. Other people are like, oh my God, you bring in Thomas Sorber. I like Thomas Sorber too as a big. I actually think he's the number one big of the class. I think he's better than Derek Queen and Malawatch. But you bring him in the interviews and like, what you wearing draft night? He's like, ice. I'm wearing this necklace and like he's all flashy and diamond chains and shit. And it is like kind of a little bit of a red flag, because we see the LaMelos of the world who are iced out and like we see it. They're in it for money. How far does your basketball career grow if you're just in it for the money? But Sorber gets drafted to a good team and goes to OKC. But moving on, I had Sorber at 10, going to Phoenix. I thought they would have took a big at 10, and they did. They took Malawatch, who I did have mocked higher because I believe everyone wanted to buy in on Malawatch. But I like Sorber. Sorber's my number one big. So he ended up going 15 to OKC. Now they have a real big. So I have him comped to a Jermaine O'Neal, Wendell Carter, Miles Turner. So now OKC found their Miles Turner to where the Pacers have theirs. But he's washed up. He didn't have a good final. Colin Murray Boyles here at 11. He was actually taken at 7 by the Pelicans, I believe.
No, he was taken.
No, wait. Fears was taken at 7.
Yeah, 9 by the Raptors.
9 by the Raptors. Yeah, 9 by the Raptors. Oh, my God. I can't believe the Raptors took him. That makes no sense. You got a guy like Scotty and you got Mogbo. I don't know where he fits in necessarily, so that's just a weird pick for me. I thought he'd be better off like in Portland. I thought it would be a great fit for him there. At Queen going 12. He ended up going 13. A lot of people had Queen. Some people had Queen up to like a top 6 type pick. I just didn't have him there. Mainly because he's from Maryland. He went to college in Maryland, and then the Wizards were picking at 6. So I think a lot of people kind of built that story in their head potentially. Like, oh, Derek Queen, he's going to be their big man. He's going to be hometown hero. They're going to take the bet on him. They got an athletic big and Sarr. You could put them next to each other. But he ended up sliding all the way to 13 to where Atlanta, I made this mock and released it. But Atlanta ended up not having the 13th pick. This is New Orleans Pelicans. And New Orleans Pelicans take Derek Queen at 13. 13, I had Nolan Traore. He ended up sliding to 19, going to Brooklyn. So some of the guys that I had mocked super high, Nolan Traore and Igor Demin. Where did they end up? Brooklyn. Point guard facilitators that play defense. And you got that next to Cam Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I really do. I'm a big fan. I like Will Riley. I think he slid super far. He's solid, has the potential to do some cool things. Jace Richardson also slid 25 to the Magic.
Damn.
But I got him at 15. I think he's a pretty special talent, and people could have took a chance on him here. OKC, replenish guards. You get a nice. He feels like a vet because his dad played in the league. We all know the Jason Richardson, the first slam dunk. I don't know if he's a slam dunk champ. I don't know if he won it, but he should have.
He should have, yeah.
He should have. That dude could fly. So, I mean, Jace Richardson comes in, and he's just such, like, a steady hand. And I think he's got a lot of potential. I think he's like he's not fully there either. Like he has all these things, but I think he could get better. And I also don't think his body is fully there either. I think he could get way more athletic, lift and get stronger, more explosive. He's young. I think he's a baby, but he's got all the tools and the IQ there. Now he's just got, like I said, got to get stronger in the NBA. I had fears falling. I like Jace Richardson better because I know he could shoot. The shooting is going to translate. He could hit the three. What I don't like is Jeremiah Fears. In high school, he averaged about 27% from three. In college, he averaged 28% from three. And even in like EYBL, the AAU circuits, he averaged under 30%. He never has shot well from three. I don't see the three-point shot translating well. So this is where I have him kind of comparing. Devin Harris, he could drive to the rack. He could get to the foul line. In college, they give him the whistle. Will they give him that in the pros? Who knows? Kevin Johnson, KJ, would be like his ultimate peak. Would be, he could get 16 to 18 a night, 7-8 assists. He actually could steal the ball. He plays a little bit of defense. He can move his feet. Not all the way there, but I do like his defense. And then there's Schroeder, where you're kind of getting this backup point guard in the best sense. That could do a lot of things. He could play make. He could blow by the first defender. He could create for himself. He could hit floaters and runners. But the three isn't all the way there, really, with any of these guys, maybe KJ. But I just don't see the three translating. Cedric Howard, I had him at 17 going to Minnesota. The Grizzlies ended up trading up to 11, where Portland had their pick, and they drafted him at 11, which was also a big reach. I had him at 17, which was a reach. He played 6 games in college. Before that, he was in D3. So from what I had, and he had a bad game against Iowa. In his 6 games, 5 were great, 1 was bad. It was the Iowa game, and that was the highest level competition in the Big Ten, or a Big Ten matchup. So, that's really all I had to work with. I don't have these private workouts. I don't have everything that, they have. But I think at 11, it was great. Does he look familiar? Does he look like anyone who's in the NBA right now? Hold on, I'm trying to zoom.
Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
I could see Anthony Edwards, yeah.
I didn't even have to say it.
Yeah, I could see that.
Look where I had him mocked.
Minnesota.
Because in my head, I had a vision. And I actually think I might have dreamt this. I did have a dream about Michael Benajay. That's how much film I watched. Michael Benajay was like a Syracuse basketball player from 2014. I don't know how, but I had a dream. It was all about basketball. And the last player that I remember dapping up out the gym was Michael Benajay. And then I woke up. I was like, what the fuck? I can't forget it. But I don't know where. But I seen this, and I don't know if I dreamt it, but I imagined it. And he looks just like him. They're both 6'5". I think he might be a hair taller than Ant-Man, but I could be wrong. But imagine Ant-Man having a twin on the team. He'd be like, yo, twin. It's a rook. And he's got twin. And, he would just take him in immediately.
They got a handshake.
It would be a whole thing. That would be his twin. He would go everywhere with them. If they would do media for a game, he would send him up there to do the interview. It would be a joke and have him do the interview as Anthony Edwards. I could imagine a whole thing. So it could have been funny. Anthony Edwards' twin brother, Cedric Howard, to Minnesota. It would have been amazing.
That's crazy. I could
see.
But
yeah, they literally look so much alike. There's so many different pictures and videos where I watch and I'm like, God damn, look identical. But he's actually lankier. He's like a bigger Anthony Edwards. He's 6'5", 6'6" in shoes, where Anthony Edwards is 6'4", 6'5" in shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like an inch. He's like I want to say half inch. I don't know. I'll look on the combine to get exact measurements, but I believe they're like a half inch off. But still, he looks a little bit bigger, and his wingspan is 7'2", to where Ant-Man doesn't have a 7'2" wingspan. So he's lankier and a little taller, and they're twins. So it's fucking bananas. Like actually bananas. He looks identical. Like, tell me this doesn't look like Ant-Man in a just a different jersey.
No, it really does.
Truly.
Yeah.
Next is Johan Berenger from France. This is who they actually picked at 17. So I nailed that too. In the range, you know, it's not perfect.
Yeah,
but you got to be happy when you get close. And to get Johan Berenger to get drafted here, I had him at 18. He got taken at 17. That was nice. Kasparis Yakashionis. I had him falling. Everyone had him top 10. I had him 19. He got drafted 20th to the Heat. Nailed the Kasparis Yakashionis pick. And also, I had Walter Clayton at 20. People had him later and mocked in the second round. I've seen top-level people have that. I had him at 20. He got taken at 18. And 18 was traded because this isn't going to Washington. He's going to Utah. So there was the Utah-Washington trade in there as well. A lot of trades happened. Asanul was I had her at 21. Asanul ended up getting drafted, I think 23 by Atlanta, and Atlanta traded this pick.
Yeah.
Noah Senge, I had him falling. I wasn't as high on him as other people, and I guess I didn't nail this pick, but I'm fine with it. And if anything, I dropped him on purpose to like make a statement because I don't think Noah Senge is going to be that good. They took him at 12, I believe, to Chicago. Let me see. Yeah, 12 to Chicago.
Yeah.
What else? We got Rasheer Fleming was taken in the second round. I was higher on him. I think he has a lot of tools and a lot of intangibles to be like even I have him here, Jeff Green, Dorian Finney-Smith, Kermit Washington, Celtics legend. There's a comma here because I know there was another player comparison. I had like Jayshawn Tate in here too. But like Dorian Finney-Smith, Jayshawn Tate, Jeff Green, like a 6'8", just forward, plays defense, doesn't need the ball, play finisher. He also shoots the three pretty well. It's a little flat, but I kind of trust it. I don't know why, because the rest of the form is good. Liam McNeely, I had him going 24. He went 29th to Phoenix. Liam McNeely out of UConn. How do you feel about McNeely? You watch UConn.
I liked him. Yeah, I liked him when he missed a lot of time though.
Yeah, he did.
But he played really well in his short time there. But he got
just because that's why he didn't shoot as well.
Yeah, he got traded to Charlotte.
Yeah, he did. So I have him comped to like a McDermott, Torian Prince, Jet Howard type of role player off the bench shooter. Ben Seraph, I have this is also who Brooklyn picked.
Yeah.
I had him at 27. He got picked at 25. There weren't people, I don't want to say not everybody, but not everybody had Ben Seraph going in the first. I really liked his playmaking. I compared him to Ty Jerome, Vino Udrih, and I mean, Tyrese Halliburton is like top level, but there's so many times I watch him and I'm like, that is such a Tyrese Halliburton play. Like, even his body type, his movement patterns, everything about him, his playmaking, his unselfishness, he feels a lot like a Tyrese Halliburton type player, and we've seen that could bring the team to the championship. I don't know if he is that level, and if he's there, because the competition level is a little different. He played in the German league. The Bundesliga is not the best. Also, his teammate was Noah Senge, and Noah Senge was drafted 12th. I think he was the better of the two teammates, and I think Ben Serif really polished up Noah Senge to get him drafted that high. I think Serif was the better player the whole time.
Mm.
Yeah, so I think he made the other guy look better. Kalkbrenner at 26. I forget where he actually got drafted.
Number 4 to Charlotte.
In the second round?
Yes.
Okay. So he's a pretty damn good big. And he can space the floor. 4-time Defensive Player of the Year in the Big East for Creighton. It's incredible. 4-time. 4 years in a row, he's the Defensive Player of the Year for his conference.
That's not an easy conference either.
Hell no. So then he shoots the three too. So it's like he's really skilled. And I just think he's got a lot of opportunity. I also think he's better than Maxime Renault from Stanford, French kid, but he went to college over here. I think he's super soft as baby shit. And I don't want nothing to do with Maxime Renault. And the Celtics had so many rumors around him that they were going to take him. They didn't. Here I had a Duke Thoreau. The Lakers ended up taking him, and he fell. And I think this dude is incredible. He's 6'8". He was 5'9" as a point guard in high school, and he hit a crazy growth spurt to where he's 6'8" now. And now he has some shooting issues. It's a little flat, but like I said, he grew a foot in 2 years.
Wow.
He went from a point guard to a power forward, and he's got a lot of outside game. The one thing that he kept from being a small guy is driving to the basket, and you don't want to get in front of him if he drives to the basket. Like he's truly like a big body OG type. Give him a couple of years, put a little more weight on. Oh my God, he's gonna be unstoppable. But he also, if the shot doesn't come around and the dribble, like he can't really dribble in the league, you're gonna see him go more from maybe an OG to like a Hamidou Diallo, Terrence Davis, if maybe even the defense doesn't translate to where you want it to be. Kelly Oubre is picking up his option, $8 million.
I saw that.
Nick Clifford, I had going to the Celtics. I thought he was a very consistent player, and yeah, I don't know. I just really, really liked him going to Boston. I thought he would be great. A vet that could come in now and almost be like how Brogdon came in and did his thing and won Sixth Man of the Year. He ended up going to the Kings. Drake Powell at 29. He ended up going 22 to Brooklyn.
Yep.
And then Danny Wolf ended up going 28 to Brooklyn.
27.
27 to Brooklyn. So I had all the Brooklyn picks were mocked in the first round. They used all 5 of their picks, which was an NBA record. No one has ever drafted 5 players in the first round. So Brooklyn did it. Then the rest, Janai Broom. The Bucks drafted this kid right here from Serbia. Moguljub Markovic.
Oof, that's a name.
Yeah. Moguljub, bro. Get used to it. I think he could be all right.
Serbian.
Yannick ended up getting picked 30th. He was the last pick of the first round, going to the Clippers, I think, but they might have traded that.
No, that was from OKC. They got it.
Oh, okay. The Celtics drafted Hugo. I had him 31st because he can't shoot, but at the same time, I still comped him to NBA players. You know, guys that got a second contract. Matisse Thybulle, Thabo Sefolosha. I think that's kind of what you could expect out of Hugo. If he could bring any scoring, I don't know what it could look like. So I'll leave that open to him.
Figure it out.
Yeah, but the defense is real, and it's there, and what his position is and where he fits on a team. It's a wing stopper, and that's what he is. And he's going to do that. He's pretty damn good. I had Hansen Yang here. But I mean, I didn't even have his name right. His name's Yang Hansen. Nobody had his name right. Everybody in the pre-draft called him Hansen Yang. He's Yang Hansen.
Yang Hansen.
Also, I had him comp to some really decent bigs. I liked him. I believed in this kid. Yang Hansen. He looked decent. People say Baby Jokic and all this. I think that's some weirdo shit. I see Zeller, Plumlee, maybe a little Tony Bradley. If anything, the best thing he could be is Zubac, but not Jokic.
Not a bad career.
Not a bad career, though. Any other interesting picks? There's another Cam in the league. Cam Jones with a K.
I remember him from Marquette.
He's nice. He's got a lot of like bounce and hop in his dribble and the way he plays.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember Kyrie Thomas from Creighton. Back when I was in college, I seen him play at Creighton. And I thought Kyrie was nice. Kyrie Thomas reminded me a little bit of Cam Jones. And then also a little Nick Benexel. You know, he's just got, like I said, he's got so much bounce and hop and pop in his game. I know you didn't get to see Nick Benexel really play like games. Maybe you see some highlights and shit, but like, I don't know. They remind me a lot of each other.
Yeah.
Anybody else? I had Renault fallen. I did not like Renault. I actually had Augustus Marcionis on my mock draft. Literally, I might be the only human being on earth who had it. On my life. I might be the only human being on earth that mocked him. Just want to say. Kobe Brea, I mean, he's a shooter. I forgot where he ended up.
Oh, Ryan Nembhard.
He ended up not getting drafted.
Yeah.
But maybe he chose that. I'm glad I got Michael Peavy on here. He's got a real hit or miss type game. And I'm not a big fan of Grant Nelson. But that was it. That was my mock draft. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. What else? Do we got anything with the WNBA schedule? Are you going to any Sun games?
I don't know. I mean, they are cheap.
They're cheap, and like, you know, we're Sun fans, but we know we're not winning this year. That just is what it is. You see the rooks, and then you go, and then you see the players who they're playing against. So like, yeah, you go to a Aces game because you want to see Asia. You know, you go to a Storm game because you want to see NECA or whatever. You get what I'm saying.
And you go to a Sun game to see opposing players.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You go to see the rooks. I'm not saying you don't go to support the Sun. I'll never condone that. But just, you know what I'm saying. You go for the other players. It's like Washington Wizards fans or Brooklyn Nets fans. If Steph Curry's in town, half the arena is in a Curry jersey.
Right.
They're not fans of Brooklyn Nets. They're fans of Curry, and they're showing up in Brooklyn to watch Curry.
Or like
they're showing up in Washington to watch Curry, and
or like games in Orlando. There's a lot of Celtics fans.
Yeah, there is, because a lot of people from the Northeast retire in Florida and move down to Florida, and that's the truth.
Like Norman,
my whole family, like my cousin Timmy. And my great-grandfather did the same thing.
Yep.
He was born in Canada, moved here in his 50s. Then he retired in his 80s in Florida and just kept going south. You got to migrate south as you get older.
I don't want to go to Florida.
It's a tip.
I can't deal with that heat.
Yeah. You'd like California, though. Like LA, I will say, is good for the simple fact that it's just like 75 every day.
Yeah, and it's not humid.
No, not humid at all.
That's the big difference.
Yeah.
It was disgusting here on Monday and Tuesday.
But the heat, the dry heat sometimes can get you too.
No, the humidity.
Sometimes it gets too dry to where like you'll go in like a car. You know when it's hot and humid, you go in a car, you're like, oh my God, it's like a sauna in here. When you go in a hot and dry car, when it's like the 90 out and baking out in this California sun, it's like there's no oxygen in there. If you open it, it's so hot, you go in there, it's dry and stuff, you go,
you gotta turn the windows down right away.
I open the door and I start the car, I leave the door open, and then I hop out a little, I open the windows. Got to. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. Any last words from Shams? Let's see. We got Beasley says he's cooperating with the federal prosecutor's investigation.
Yeah.
And Oubre picked up his player option. Today's gonna get crazy. Oh, DFS is declining. Did you see that one?
Yeah, that frees up a lot of money.
There was rumors about it already, but it's official.
There was rumors about the LeBron one. They said he was going to exercise that option anyway.
So I think with DFS, I think he's opting out, and they're going to give him a better deal. Not necessarily better. He's going to decline 15.4, and I think you opt out and you take a 3 for 36.
Yeah, I
12 this year, 12, 12, 12. Like, that's the type of thing I think DFS, because he got traded there on purpose. That's how you know this trade was, everything about it was rigged and fake with the Luka trade. You don't trade for his best friend and his favorite teammate ever a month before you get Luka unless you know you're trading for Luka. That was contingent upon them getting DFS. The trade wouldn't have happened if they didn't get DFS. Like, you don't land Kawhi if you don't make the Paul George trade and trade Shea.
Right.
You never get Kawhi. But you would have never traded you would have never traded Shea if Kawhi said, you know what I'm saying? Like, these moves are contingent upon each other. If one domino falls, the next does.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Philly. It's going to be interesting with Embiid. Apparently he's healthy and the knee is good.
I saw that.
I've heard some good rumors about Embiid, and he might bug out next year.
Yeah, we don't really hear a lot of good rumors about Embiid typically either. So.
Yeah, but off of what I know, I would say maybe betting the over on wins for Philly this year might be the play.
I mean, the East is pretty weak, so.
I think Philly's going to go in there and run it up. McCain's healthy. Maxi's healthy. PG's healthy. Took a break from the pods.
Took a break.
Could be good.
We'll see.
We'll see. But that finalizes it, finishes it up right there. Guys, chat. How bad was the mouth guard today? Could you tell?
I didn't even notice it.
Yeah, this is my first week with Invisalign. Now I'm getting congested. As soon as I say it, I'm talking about it.
You're doing fine.
All right. But yeah. So yeah, I talked for 2 hours here with them in. Nothing can stop me from talking. I think that's maybe what we learned more than anything.
Yapper.
Yep. Yap in my trap. But yeah, Rich, it wasn't really crazy. And they it was like pain-free, nothing really. The only thing that I say was like awkward for a quick second was after they have to put like these little gel caps like on your tooth. So it's like they like put a little, I don't know, it creates like a little peg. So then the thing, your mouthpiece clips into it. So they put like 3 little dots. And then after, like they want to kind of clean it up and polish it, and they do buff it. But then they have this thing that like goes like this, and it separates your mouth, and then they just go in with it. And it is like a sander, so it's like, and it does make like a little bit of a buffing sound, but it's literally they're buffing that little gel, acrylic plastic, whatever the fuck they put on your tooth for the time being while it sticks there. And they just kind of shave it down a little just so it's smooth and it doesn't cut the inside of your mouth because it'll come back and it'll be sharper if they don't smooth it out. So yeah, they just smooth it out. That was probably just because I know we were talking about it, and right now we're at 0 viewers. We lost our viewer like 3 minutes ago. So yeah, this is a phone call essentially.
Beautiful.
But yeah, like they literally just go. They buff across each tooth. They gotta buff it probably like 10 seconds or less each tooth. Boom, and then they go on your bottom. They check it. Some she didn't even, I guess, have to polish. I noticed that she didn't do every single tooth. Like I felt her do, let's say 3 on one side and maybe 2 on the other. And then, yeah, she just kind of makes sure that it's all even and polished right. And she just had it there for a second. They dry it out, and I clip them in. Watch this. Look at it. Finger on one side. Finger on the other. Boom. There's one. Just to show you how easy it is, and you just put it in the tray. And then boom.
Yeah.
In and out. And now, see? Like, it's just
simple.
And then watch this. Boom. It's in.
10 seconds.
It's in. That fast. In and out. Under a minute, I just took them on and off. It's like, it's that simple. I could barely even feel it on. The only thing is like, there's this thing in the back of the mouth guard, and it just lets your like teeth, so your teeth aren't like directly on it. It gives like a little space. So like I could, like, instead of my teeth hitting my teeth, it's like hitting the plastic, and it's just a little sooner than what I'm used to. So sometimes when I talk, like it'll tap it.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, there's no difference. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
And yeah, completely pain-free. My bottom teeth are a little like, I definitely feel my bottom teeth moving because they said they had to like change the way my bottom row was, because they had to give space because my bottom floor was starting to bunch up and turn sideways. So they're pushing this back, and then it's going to give the space for these front teeth to all flatten back out. And then the top row, they're pushing some of these teeth forward, and then these teeth are gonna flatten out again in the front. So then it'll just be straight across the way it should be.
Yeah, I'll have to think about it.
Yeah, because it's just my third tooth is so far back from here. Actually, like there's space. You just can't see it with the mouth guard in. I swear, I look at the mouth guard and I'm like, it's already fixing it. 2 days in, I'm getting there.
It looked pretty good.
Yeah, but no, they said it's probably going to take a month to have like noticeable differences in your smile, and you'll see it's different. So I guess I'll wait for the month. Also, they're making me do a follow-up appointment, so I'm waiting on that, and they say they want to do it at the end of July. I'm trying to get it like pushed back closer because I wanted to make that move in mid-July, but I got that appointment there. So, or it's closer to end July. I'm trying to get it to mid-July.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long I'll have to wait. Hopefully I can get it moved, but if not, it'll probably be late July, early August.
Right.
Yeah. But anything else? Still thinking about this Sparks Chicago game. Could be fun.
Yeah, the ticket prices aren't bad.
How are we liking Candace's analysis lately?
I don't listen to her. She's annoying.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of where I'm at. Every time, like lately, I think about Candace Parker, I think about sometimes some spotty analysis.
When I have her on the halftime show, well, Shaq and Kenny Smith and Charles Barkley don't know what they're talking about anyway either. So they're all just sound.
I don't think she meshes well with them.
Yeah. I mean, they mesh. Yeah.
But the one thing, sometimes she has some good like jokes and one-liners to get at them.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just like they're like a punching bag at this point.
Right.
Everybody jokes with Chuck and Shaq and them. And everybody could get off a couple jokes, but yeah, I don't know.
I don't love her analysis.
But I did love her on the court.
On the court, she was
Candace Parker, top 5 women to ever touch a basketball. That's not debatable at all.
Right.
Whether you put her number 1 or number 5 or anywhere in between, but you can't say 5 women's names without bringing up Candace Parker in basketball.
Facts.
We'll make that top 5 eventually, but Candace Parker's in there.
Yeah.
I'd put her in there. I mean, right now, who would you put? What would be your top 5? Or just like a few?
Probably Tarazi, Parker, Tamika Catchings, probably Cheryl Swoops. Like Maya Moore should have been.
Maya Moore, and then like leaves out Lisa Leslie.
Yeah, Maya Moore could have been. Yeah, Lisa Leslie's certainly up there.
But like Candace Parker, no matter what, like that's top 5 of top 5 people who come to your name when you think about it.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to think about and to go to her retirement, her jersey retirement ceremony. Could be cool. See Angel Reese.
Miss a bunch of layups, get a bunch of rebounds.
I know.
She's been shooting the ball better lately.
But I got my foot, and like that's the other thing I got to think about. I have to go there with my cast. I have to pay for parking, and or not my cast, but my big ass thing.
Right.
My boot. I don't want to be there booted up. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do it. I'll just watch it on TV from here. I got my boot on, and I got my teeth in.
Kick your feet back.
Yeah. Plus, I can't go out and eat anymore either, unless. Well, I can. I'm just being a little stingy about it. But after you eat, you're supposed to go and like floss and brush your teeth and everything because you don't want your trays to get dirty. Right. Even though you switch them out every week. Like this tray, I'll throw this tray away in a week.
Mm-hmm.
I already printed out 18 weeks of trays. And on the 18th one, that should be close to my final one. And then I just wear that until they switch into my permanent retainer, which is the one that you just wear to sleep. Eventually, you just wear it to sleep. So you go from wearing this from like 20 hours a day in the beginning to only needing it to sleep after 10 months. So yeah, after a year wearing these, then I'll just have a retainer that I just leave, by my toothbrush or something. Then I brush my teeth, and then I just pop in the tray and go to sleep. And it keep your teeth straight for the rest of your life.
Easy.
Yeah. That's what I've been thinking. That's probably the best bet, and that's why I went through with it. I'm liking it so far. And also, like, I'm feeling how sensitive my mouth is a little bit, like a little bit of pain and everything. Like I ate some chicken last night. I was like, God damn, my teeth hurt a little bit. Hard to eat this chicken. But wow, so that actually means they're doing something already.
Yeah.
My mouth wasn't hurting before. I had no mouth pain. I don't have like gum pain. I floss like all the time. Like I don't have any of that. So having pain, I'm like, oh yeah, it's doing something. So I know for a fact my teeth needed this because there's some pain. So clearly it's shifting and it needed to shift.
Nice.
Yeah, kind of crazy. But at the same time, like I said, I'm excited about the process. It's going to take a year, but after a year, I have a better smile, and hopefully that could help maybe getting a sports media job. And having like a good smile. That's the one thing I see on TV. You don't got to be the most handsome, beautiful, whatever. I will say with the girls' side, you pretty much got to be beautiful. But with the guys' side, I mean, there are the occasional, non-lookers. There's a Skip Bayless, but he's like a character. I don't know. Do you just gotta be like a bald white guy? I feel like the bald white guy gets booked.
Ryan Ruocco.
Ryan Ruocco, yeah. He's got good hair though.
He's bald.
Wait, who am I thinking of? Ryan Ruocco?
He's the commentator with Rebecca Lobo.
Oh, no. I'm thinking of somebody else. Yeah, Ryan Ruocco, not Ryan Ruocco. Yeah, see? Gotta go bald. I think it's Scott Van Pelt. Bald.
He's got a great...
Ernie. Got a little hair.
Yeah.
But bald.
For the most part.
You gotta go bald, I think. Bald's like the way to go.
Wait.
Yeah, it seems like the bald guy. It just works out the best for them. Plus, I feel like nobody on TV gets a buzz cut. I feel like going these interviews and they're like, this guy's not at the right interview. Like, this is sports media. You're going to be on TV. You're coming here with gap teeth in a lineup. You need to have a comb over. You need to put a little gel in.
Or go bald.
You need to fix your grill. So now I robbed a jewelry store until they made me a grill. Yeah, felt like Paul Wall day one for sure. For sure. I'm telling you, it was so hard. Like I was like, I couldn't do it because your tongue is hitting the back of this. And like I said, it has that space, a little bit of space, so your teeth aren't like hitting each other while everything is moving. So yeah, it just gives like a little cushion, and it's just a little bit to where you never have that little cushion in your mouth. There's nothing that would be there other than that. So yeah, it just affects it a little bit. On that note, we'll be back next week. Louis Teixeira, I think we already went through most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we missed anything. Besides Kennedy and Checkwu, and I don't give a shit.
Right.
And Jake Matthews. Which most likely he's going to get the dub with Max Griffin. All right, yeah, we already talked that prelim. Okay, that's pretty much everything. Other than that, go Sun. What else are we rooting for?
Wings don't play today. Guess we're rooting.
Page.
That's good they don't play. Oh no. Liberty played today. Green, that should be a good game.
Yeah, it should be. Let me double check. I got my fast break lineup set. I want to make sure you approve of this. Yeah, let me present it real quick. All right, so today is 35 rebounds and 35 points in the paint. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, this is today. I don't know why yesterday looked like it was today. Do you think there's anybody else I could put in the paint? Because I got Jonquel's ruled out.
No,
facing.
Pretty good.
I like that too because the Dream are facing the Liberty, and you have Jonquel out. So Brittany Griner and Brianna Jones are going against the backup center.
Yeah, so their rebounds and points should be up.
Yeah.
So.
And then I got NECA, who's always rebounds and points in the paint, Tina Charles, and then Alyssa Thomas.
Yeah, that's a good lineup.
Yeah, because it's either the only person I could sub in is Temi, and I think Temi has a day off. And yeah, John Quell. And she's out.
Yeah, I'd stick with that. That's pretty good.
All right. And then I don't know if I have a pro mode. Oh yeah, it was rookies. I don't have any rookies for these players. Check this out. This would be too expensive. But it's 80 points, 7 3-pointers. I can't complete this day. Because the only rookie cards that I have from these players are Ryan Howard, Dana Evans, Michaela Onyenware, and Diaby. And Diaby ain't hit no threes. Onyenware ain't hit no threes. Evans might hit one. Howard will hit some, but like 80 points and 7 threes.
That's asking a lot.
Right. I would need like Fee, Satu, Sabrina, Ryan Howard, and like Lloyd or some shit.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm not even gonna finish it, but I've had a couple good ones. Like this is the pro mode, so they have rookie mode where you just have to own any of the cards. Common, you get one play, blah blah blah. But the pro mode, you have to have a specific. So like on this day, you have to use somebody's rookie card. So if Asia's playing, you gotta have Asia's rookie. And Asia only has like 50 rookies, and they're worth probably like 800 a pop. So if you want to play Asia for this day and compete for whatever prizes, you got to pay up unless you already have Asia, or you got to get creative like I did. So how do I get 35 rebounds? Kiki Ariafin, Boston, Melissa Smith, Howard, and Shakira Austin. You know, instead of paying up, if you use your basketball knowledge and who could go off that day, then you could still participate. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I've been playing that. And then on this day, you have to have the Top Shot debut, their first card or Top Shot moment, or whatever. So I got all of theirs. So I got Sabrina's first. They're all cheap for the most part. They're like $3-4 for the debut, because they made like 10,000 of them for the WNBA when the WNBA first came out. And there's not over 10,000 people playing Fast Break using all of these. So basically, it's not that expensive to use them all. And the same thing was the next day, 50 points, 3 blocks on the Top Shot debuts. I lost on the Top Shot debut day. I don't have any rare MGLEs. This was an expensive ass day. But those days, the prizes have more money and more value, and then also less people are playing. So even if you have the cards and you might not like kill it, there still might only be 400 people who play. So if you're in the top 200, you still win money.
Mm-hmm.
To where on a normal day like this, maybe like 2,000 people are in there, and it's harder to get top 200.
Right.
But this was last night. Oh, I got screwed. Ty Harris, Ingsler, Carrington, no dimes. I think they were hurt, to be honest.
Tough lineup.
I had no other players. But Sykes and Hines Allen got 5 dimes. All I needed was 5 more. But I had nobody else because I used them here. Like I used, I used Austin and Iriafin. And then Sykes, but I don't have Jade Melbourne or Sugar Sutton. So I would have had to like buy them. But they're like $10, $15 each now.
Right.
There's only one card. They didn't really drop many of them. And now if you want to use them in the game, now everyone knows that, so the price went up.
Mm-hmm.
But this is for today, 80.73s. I can't do it. But I should get the 35 points, 35 points in the paint, 35 rebounds. I cross my fingers. That's still a lot. But I think I can get it done.
That's a good lineup.
Yeah, I trust this one. Dang. But other than that, all right, guys, we out of here for real this time. Shout out to Gloria. Shirt. What shirt is that?
The part of the Kendrick Lamar merch.
Where? That's what I thought. That's fire.
I never
Tour
liked the merch, but this was one of the better shirts.
Does it have like the tour stuff on the back or no?
Yeah, it has all the cities.
Oh yeah, that's fire.
Yeah.
I fuck with that heavy. All right, bro. Holla at you.
Adios.
Adios.